the main thing really is if you want to add something, you click on the add button, insert, and you've got all the different options that you would expect to see in a quality food service quoting platform. So I've been inserting products, and if we did that, it would take us to the eCatalog. So let's do that now, actually. Here we go. Right. Okay, so I'm going to cover this in a second because you notice that BDCE probably isn't a brand that you're familiar with. It's actually my brand. I've created that, and I'll show you again in a second. We've got all these other ones to choose from that I've got access to in my demonstration account. There's obviously hundreds more manufacturers available within the Specifi ecosystem itself. But for me, for my purposes here, we've got a few. So let's go for, let's put a rationale in. So let's click on rationale. So happy with rationale. And I'm going to put in an iCombi Pro. So as it works its way through, I'm going to go for electric, going to go for a 10 grid, and we go for a right-hand hinge door. So yeah, this is a great way of searching. If I'm not too sure what I want, but I think it's rationale, and I can use the levels that gets created on the left-hand side of the screen to go through and quickly find what I want. So here we go, narrows it down quite quickly. If I knew exactly what I wanted, so if I had the ICP 10-111 here, I could put that in there, it'll come up straight away. So this is for searching terms and numbers and names. And here is a slightly easier way of searching if you know the manufacturer, but not necessarily the actual name of the model. So lots of different ways of doing it. Whatever works best for you is fine by us. That's what it's all about, nice and flexible. I can throw that straight into the project, but I don't want to because I know that there's going to be some accessories that I want to put on the item before I put it in. So I click on that, it takes me to the product page. And again, this is a really useful view if you're not entirely sure, if you're looking at a customer specification or a customer brief, and you're trying to establish what would be the right things to put in the design for them or the project for them. So here it takes you to the product page. You can check on things like connections, drainage, all the accessories, obviously. Scroll down, here's a lot of accessories. You can check on the connections, you can choose the right ones. So maybe you wanted the single phase. It gives you the power there. We'll stick with a 3-phase. Obviously, you can just double check that everything is as you would expect, and you can check on what attachments you've got. So you can check on the data sheet, you can check on the descriptions, all that sort of stuff. So this is a really good way if you're still trying to determine if this is the right product to go into your quote. It is for us, so we're going to just get a bit of an ultra event. We're going to click on the little sync looking button, which tells me that there's additional options for this particular item. I'm going to swap it for that one there. And give it a stand, same thing again. Which one do we want? Let's have a lower stand. Doesn't really matter. We can put in anything we want to really. There are all those options. Go for control panel, and there, doesn't matter. Happy, add it to the project. Perfect. So this is, like I say, it's a straightforward way. The whole point for us is we want to make it nice, simple, and easy for you. So the searching element of it is as intuitive as I think as I've seen in any quote platform. And in my previous job, I used to use a different quote platform. This is really, really simple, straightforward compared to that. One thing I just want to show you while we're here, another really cool feature. You saw down there we had the attachments, which was the manufacturer's data sheet and whatnot. Now, you have the option of using those when you're sending your data sheets. Often the manufacturer will upload a generic one, if you like, a brochure perhaps, rather than a specific one for what we've just configured, which is fine. You know, they're quite entitled to do that. The issue that you may get with that, of course, is that when you're coming to send off a spec book, the PDF, if every manufacturer has done that, it starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it becomes a bit of a pain in the backside trying to email it to anybody. But also, if it is that generic sort of model range brochure that they put in there instead of an actual dedicated data sheet, you can sometimes find that it causes a bit of confusion with your clients. If they're looking at it and they're seeing, you know, a brochure with everything, all the possible accessories for all the different items in the model range, they may get confused. You may have to have a phone call, which is a bit uncomfortable for both of you because they're expecting one thing and you're giving them another. What we have here, and I'll click on print to demonstrate it, is a dynamic specification sheet. And what that means is that as we're clicking along and incorporating all our accessories to the item and we add it to the quote, if we click on dynamic spec sheet, it will generate a spec sheet specific to that item. So it's absolutely congruent with what you're putting in the quote. And obviously then when we look at synchronizing the quote to the design, it's absolutely congruent with what goes in the design and in the technical schedules, all that sort of stuff. So it's minimizing confusion. It's improving that sort of that congruency as you go throughout the process. It's minimizing errors, minimizing mistakes, and ultimately means it's one less difficult conversation you have to have with your client who's expecting something else because they haven't read the quote properly. This is all word-based templates, and you can create your own. So obviously, you see we've got one here with Specifi, but you can have whatever you want on your spec sheet template, and I'll show you that in a second. But ostensibly, we've got the item, the specific connections, the specific accessories, and happy days. Everybody is happy. There's no complaints. There's no ambiguity. Okay, let me just put that in now.